The story begins with a voice thundered in his ears, jerking him awake. "You useless fool! What are you still doing in bed? Miss C is already here." A groan escaped the man's lips as he slowly sat up, eyes blinking against the golden morning light. His handsome but slightly disoriented face twisted with annoyance. "Damn it, I've transmigrated again," he muttered, voice annoyed, yet strangely calm. "Get out there and greet Miss Z, now," barked Linghu Kong, the CEO of Linghu Enterprises, a subsidiary of the Tom Corporation, one of the four great families. Before Linghu Hang could even respond, a holographic display flickered to life beside his bed. A chirpy robotic voice followed. "Greetings, host. The man who just yelled at you is your grandfather, Linghu Kong, CEO of Linghu Enterprises, subsidiary of the Tom Corporation. You've transmigrated into the novel C's Dragon King's Raging Son-in-Law, Chapter 35. Your role, Linghu Hang, the villain. Your mission, survive. Good luck, good luck." "Is that a blessing or a curse?" he muttered. "What are you mumbling about? Get out there and welcome Missy. Or I'll show you what a curse really is," his grandfather roared. Linghu Hang stood up, his face expressionless. "Yes, grandfather." Sighing, Linghu Hang dragged himself toward the door. A servant greeted him with a knowing smile. "Good morning, young Master Linghu." "Morning," he replied. His mind elsewhere. "How long have I been living this transmigration life? I can't even remember." It had started with a sudden accident in his original world. He thought he was dead. Then came the voice calling itself a system, had announced, "Villain redemption plan activated." And so began his journey from novel to novel, always as the villain. His mission always the same: play the villain, die quickly, then live on, collecting rewards to bring back to his original world. He'd had his successes, sure, but his failures were numerous, and often absurd. "You can't defeat us," they'd said. Then he peeked out. Whoa! Caught the bullet barehanded. Suddenly, splat. Wrong move. Or that time with the peerless sword immortal. Not a word spoken. Just a sword through the heart. This novel has successfully synchronized. Host, keep going. This time, it's the wife-stealing arc. Zhong Buxuan, he murmured, the male lead of C's Dragon King's Raging Son-in-Law. And Shi Churan, eldest daughter of the Shi family, one of the four great families. The devastatingly handsome male lead. Ugh. Kill me now. Right this way, Missy. Can I carry your bag? He asked, trailing after her with a fawning grin. Don't touch me, she snapped, swatting his hand away without even looking. I'm Linghu Hang, young master of the Linghu family, he protested, puffing up. I'm more important than you. What's wrong with you? Linghu Hang was taken aback. He'd showered her with affection and gifts for a year, a whole year, and she still treated him like a stray dog at the gate.
Meanwhile, Zhong Buxuan, the Dragon King of the Tun Corporation, stood at her side. Not as a CEO, not as a billionaire tycoon, but as her bodyguard. Zhong Buxuan was the center of the universe. Capable of anything. The ultimate hero. The plot bent around him like gravity. And he hated Linghu Hang. With a look of pure disgust, Shi Churan turned to him. Buxuan. Carry my bag. Of course, Miss Z, Zhong Buxuan replied smoothly, already reaching for the bag. That idiot Linghu Hang, so hopelessly devoted. Yet Shi Churan only had eyes for Zhong Buxuan. Even now, when they were just friends, it didn't matter. Another harem novel. Another male lead who gets all the girls. This was a lost cause. See you in the next book. ACH. Linghu Hang cried out. Even if it's a fatal blow, the pain will pass. Just endure it. Then he stepped forward. Miss Shi, there's something I need to tell you. At that, Shi Churan stopped in her tracks. Slowly, she turned her head. I don't want to hear it, she said. But I also have something to tell you. What now? He thought. She's probably going to reject me again. Shi Churan looked him and continued. Ling Hu Hang, give up. I will never marry you. Even if your family pressures my father. I still. Yes, I know, he cut in quickly. I was thinking the same thing. She paused, blinking. Surprised. Then. A voice rang out from afar. Forget the engagement. I'm thinking the same thing. Shi Churan's eyes went wide, lips parting. What? Zhong Buxuan turned, glaring at Ling Hu Hang. What tricks are you playing? Zi Churan's frown deepened. Yes, what are you up to? Whatever you say, I won't believe you. Are you trying to trick me? Ling Hu Hang held up a hand dismissively, looking totally unbothered. No need for dramatics. Absolutely not. Zi Churan chuckled, folding her arms. Ling Hu Hang, I've seen through your act. You can't fool me, Zi Churan said, walking toward him with a smirk. Stupid woman, Ling Hu Hang thought, his irritation boiling over. So eager to be part of Zhong Buxuan's harem. I'm the one being played here. It's a pity that I've realized the truth. Stupid woman. Go away. Suddenly, Zi Churan stopped in her tracks, startled. Who said that? She muttered, looking around, scanning the area. Trying to identify the source of the voice. There's only one woman here, so they must be calling me stupid, Ling Hu Hang said, gesturing toward the door with a forced smile. Don't overthink it. Miss Z, let's go speak to our elders. I promise, there will be no engagement. You don't have to worry. Zi Churan frowned, unconvinced. Zhong Buxuan scowled, his eyes narrowing. The three of them walked toward the house, the tension thick between them, oblivious to the system that had materialized behind them. The host's data link is malfunctioning. His inner thoughts are leaking. What do I do? I can't report this. I'll be deleted. I managed to patch it temporarily. It only happens when he's mocking or insulting someone. The rest is up to him. Ling Hu Hang stroked his chin thoughtfully, oblivious to the system's panic in the background. According to the novel, I offend Zhong Buxuan by pursuing his women, leading to my downfall. If I break off the engagement, he'll have no reason to target me. The system observed its host's smug grin with a mounting sense of dread. Surviving 5 chapters? That'll child's play. We're in, Ling Hu Hang declared confidently. Who said that? Shi Churan muttered, still distracted by the mysterious voice echoing in her mind. Turning to Zhong Buxuan, she added, wait outside. Go find a place to rest. Startled by the sudden shift in her tone, Zhong Buxuan hesitated for a moment, then gave a silent nod and stepped out. Ling Hu Hang was quietly surprised. She was usually inseparable from Zhong Buxuan, but at least she didn't seem upset. Grandfather, I've brought Miss Shi, Ling Hu Hang announced as they stepped into the room. Welcome, welcome. Come, have a seat, Ling Huchang said heartily, his voice booming through the room. And why are you still calling her Miss E? Call her Charan already. He waved a hand. Someone, bring tea for Miss Charan. Grandfather, Ling Hu Hang replied politely, all while thinking grimly, I can't stand E Charan. Let her join Zhong Buxuan's harem for all I care. Just cancel this engagement already so I can escape this absurd novel. Shi Chuan stared at him, the realization dawning, the voice she'd heard earlier had been his. He insults me in his thoughts, and now he keeps referring to me as part of Zhong Buxuan's harem? Her mind flashed back to Zhong Buxuan's reassuring words, don't worry, Missy, I'm here. Even if they send 10 more men, I won't let them touch a hair on you. She frowned slightly. He's my bodyguard, I trust him. But, a harem? Is someone spreading rumors? Meanwhile, Linghu Kang leaned forward, intrigued, as he watched Linghu Hang politely offer Shichun a cup of tea. Why so formal? It's time you two got engaged, don't you think? Shi Charan's father said, nodding in firm agreement. Without hesitation, Shi Charan slammed her hand on the armrest and rose to her feet. I disagree, she said sharply. I have no feelings for Linghu Hang. Marriage is a lifelong commitment. I want to marry someone I love. Across the room, Linghu Hang shot his grandfather a thumbs up. See? Forced marriages never work. Shi Charan turned to stare at him, stunned. Is he actually serious? Her father stepped toward Linghu Hang, clasping his hand warmly. My boy, I know how you feel. You've always indulged Charan, why stop now? She's just being childish. No, no, Uncle Shi, Linghu Hang interrupted gently. Miss Shi isn't being childish. I admire her strong will. She said she doesn't want to marry me, and I respect that. I won't force her, absolutely not. Shi Charan blinked in confusion. Where did this sudden change of heart come from? Yesterday, he sent me a 5,000-word essay confessing his undying love. Moved to tears, her father wiped at his eyes. My boy, you're so selfless. You're willing to stay by her side even without a promise of marriage. But even patience has its limits. Linghu Hang offered a knowing smile. Uncle, you're a true businessman. You understand the art of negotiation. Then, with a sigh, Shi Charan's father turned to his daughter, and began to scold her. Jichuan, tell me yourself, have you gone too far? Her father demanded, his voice stern. This marriage must happen. At those words, Linghu Hang immediately dropped to his knees and clutched his legs. No, let's not get married. I beg you, he pleaded. Then, turning to Jichuan, he thought, why are you so quiet now? Come on, tell your father you don't want to marry me. Are you really this stupid? Jichuan, hearing his thoughts, smirked before grabbing his collar. So, you've changed your mind, have you? She teased, eyes glinting with mischief. All that talk about caring for me, and now you don't want to marry me? Linghu Hang froze, his words caught in his throat. Before he could react, Jichuan released him with a dismissive wave. Father, I've thought about it. Feelings can be cultivated, she said, her tone suddenly serious as she turned back to Linghu Hang. I agree to the marriage. Linghu Hang, still reeling from everything that had just happened, was hit with her words again. Are you insane? He screamed inwardly, forcing a strained smile onto his face. No, no, there's no need to force yourself. Did you take the wrong medication? Still half asleep? Go home to mommy. What kind of heroic stunt do you think you're pulling? You stupid woman. I swear, I just want to smack you senseless. I want to crack open your skull and see if your brain is smooth enough to be a waterslide. Jichuan leaned in closer, a sweet smile curling on her lips. Our parents arranged this marriage. Don't you get it? Linghu Hang gritted his teeth. I get it. I just want to strangle you. She casually slung an arm over his shoulder, her tone playful. Don't you like me anymore? He stared at her, speechless. Of course I do, he muttered, irritated. Linghu Hang frowned inwardly, thinking, what kind of question is that? I just want to crack open your skull and see if it's hollow. Jichuan brought a finger to her lips, giving him a coy look. She couldn't help but relish the drama of his inner monologue, it was so satisfying to watch him squirm. With a sly grin, she licked her fingers suggestively. Linghu Hang grabbed her hand firmly, his voice low. Let's talk outside. Turning to their fathers, he added. Uncle Z, grandfather, excuse us. Go, spend some time alone, his grandfather boomed, giving them an encouraging wave. Your feelings will develop. Outside, Ling Hu Heng exploded. What was that about? We can still call off the engagement. Jichuan leaned casually against the wall, her gaze playful. Why would I do that? This marriage has been arranged. I have no reason to refuse. But you said you wanted to marry for love, he shot back, irritation creeping in. And you used to despise me. Come on, let me off the hook. We can't get married. Jichuan's face flushed a light pink. I don't like anyone right now, but maybe, after we're married, I'll fall for you. Ling Hu Heng immediately clutched his head in distress. No, don't say that. If you fall for me, I'm dead. Zhang Buxuan will kill me. Zichuan, overhearing his thoughts, furrowed her brow. Zhang Buxuan? Why does he keep mentioning him? Why is he so afraid of him? He's the young master of one of the 4 great families. Why would Ling Hu Heng be afraid of a mere bodyguard? She sighed, watching him pace nervously. Ling Hu Heng, overwhelmed, muttered to himself, it's too late. He suddenly slammed his hands against the wall, trapping her with nowhere to go. For a moment, Zichuan was taken aback, but she quickly regained her composure. Last chance, he said, his voice low. Are you calling this off? Zichuan smirked, clearly unfazed. No. What are you going to do about it? Ling Hu Heng, momentarily speechless, could only silently scream I can't do anything as he looked around the banquet hall, desperate for an escape. A man from the crowd raised his glass with a grin. Let's toast to the happy couple. To the happy couple, the guests echoed, their voices filled with false cheer. Ah, the joining of the Ling Hu and Anzi families, a formidable alliance, one whispered. I heard Miss she despised young Master Ling Hu, guess that was just a rumor. Meanwhile, Zhang Buxuan stood alone, his glass in hand, a dark frown etching deeper across his face. As the guests' congratulatory cheers echoed around him, Zhang Buxuan crushed his glass in his hand, the shards biting into his skin. He didn't flinch. Ziozi, he said, his voice low and dangerously calm. I object to this engagement. A chill ran down Ling Hu Heng's spine. Here we go. I'm doomed. Shi Charan's father turned to Zhang Buxuan, eyes narrowing. And you are? Zhang Buxuan, his posture straightening with a cold arrogance, answered with a smug sneer. Take a good look. The room fell into a brief, confused silence as Coz struggled to place him. Who do you think I am? Zhang Buxuan's voice was dripping with disdain. The guests murmured, puzzled. Who is he? Don't tell me he's some mysterious tycoon. The atmosphere shifted as Xiao Zhao's face lit up in recognition. You're my daughter's bodyguard. His expression darkened instantly. And what business is it of yours? The guests erupted into laughter, some unable to hold back their amusement. A bodyguard, they scoffed. A bodyguard objecting to the young Mrs. engagement? How amusing, Coz sneered, barely concealing his amusement. Ling Hu Heng groaned internally. Can you all stop drawing attention to me? Coz waved him off dismissively. You're fired. This is the last time you'll ever set foot in my house like this. I suggest you leave now. Next time, you'll be lucky if you find work shining shoes. Zhang Buxuan smirked, his expression one of cold amusement. Coz, I've only tolerated you because of your daughter. Did you honestly think you could arrange her marriage on your own? Zichuan stepped forward, her voice sharp and firm. This is my marriage. My father can arrange it, who are you to object? She hadn't fully realized how arrogant and delusional Coz was, but his words left a sour taste in her mouth. Disgusting. Coz roared, his temper flaring. I don't have time for a fired bodyguard. Get him out of here, he barked, turning his attention elsewhere. Facing the approaching guards, Zhang Buxuan chuckled darkly, cracking his knuckles. You only sent 2, he said with mock surprise. Let me tell you, 2 is not enough. I can take on 10. If that's what you want, COZ said, gesturing to his security team, his voice cold and commanding, get him. The Shi family's guards rushed forward with battle cries, charging at Zhang Buxuan. But one by one, he deflected their attacks with ease, sending them crashing to the ground without breaking a sweat. The remaining guards, now panicking, tried to regroup. Right, one shouted, rallying the others. They charged at him together, a desperate mass of bodies. But even their combined force was no match for Zhang Buxuan's skill. With fluid, practiced movements, he dispatched them with ruthless efficiency. Anyone else, he challenged, his eyes blazing with fury. Ling Hu Hang, watching from the sidelines, could barely keep himself together. He's furious. I'm so screwed, he thought, his heart racing. Trying to mask his fear, he forced a smile and stepped forward, clapping his hands. Brother Buxuan, your martial arts skills are truly impressive. Zhang Buxuan's glare could have cut through steel. Ling Hu Hang's voice dripped with insincerity as he continued. It's all a misunderstanding. Don't be angry. Don't worry, Shi Churan won't marry me. Just as you wished. Are you satisfied now? Zhang Buxuan snorted, his expression dark and unreadable. The guests murmured nervously among themselves, their whispers thick with tension. That bodyguard is going too far, ruining the engagement party like this. Young Master Ling Hu is so well-mannered. If I were Miss Shi, I'd choose him without a second thought. A violent bodyguard is no match for the Ling Hu family's young master. Zhang Buxuan overheard their whispered comments, his eyes narrowing. Money and education. Something a bodyguard like me doesn't have. Ling Hu Hang's eyes widened in disbelief. Zhang Buxuan's face darkened, his gaze locking onto Ling Hu Hang with fiery intensity. So that's how it is, he muttered, his voice dangerously low. How insidious. Ling Hu Hang froze, his heart skipping a beat. Wait, what? This isn't how the story is supposed to go. His mind raced, scrambling to make sense of the situation. The plot is deviating. The bystanders are supposed to be on my side, despising the arrogant protagonist. Why is it the other way around? No. 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 Someone help me. This isn't right. Ling Hu Hang thought, his mind spiraling. Should I just elope with her? Shi Churan is your wife, you idiot. His eyes shot daggers at the useless Zhang Buxuan, who was just standing there, doing nothing. Shi Churan, hearing every word of his inner panic, couldn't hold back a quiet giggle. He looks so calm on the outside, but inside? He's screaming like a husky. This is too much. Zhang Buxuan, completely unaware of Ling Hu Hang's turmoil, bowed deeply and spoke, his voice sincere. I don't care about the others. As long as Miss Shi is happy, it's worth it. He knelt before her with a determined look. Don't worry, Miss Shi. I'm here. No one can force you to marry someone you don't love. I'm not afraid of anyone. Ling Hu Hang's mind raced. Yes, that's it. Be a man and carry her away. I won't stop you. But Shi Churan's face darkened, and she snapped. Zhang Buxuan, you're annoying. Ling Hu Hang, dumbfounded, stared at her. Huh? What's with that expression? Cry. Let me see some tears. Agree with him. Do it. Shi Churan rolled her eyes and snatched her hand away from Zhang Buxuan's grip. What are you looking at? He asked, a slight chuckle in his voice. An escape route. Don't worry. I'll take you away. Zichuran yanked her hand back, her voice sharp. No. Who wants to go with you? Are you out of your mind? She turned to Ling Hu Hang, her eyes demanding an answer. Ling Hu Hang. He blinked, caught off guard, then responded with a calm, almost dismissive. What? Zichuan walked away from Zhang Buxuan, who stood frozen, his fists clenched in frustration. I think I understand what Ling Hu Hang is trying to do, she thought, a realization settling in. This world is a novel, she continued in her mind, and I'm one of the female leads destined for Zhang Buxuan's harem. The thought sent a chill through her. If I go with him, I'll just become another conquest. Another pawn in his game. Zichuan held Ling Hu Hang in her gaze, unwavering and sharp. I know exactly what you're thinking. Zhang Buxuan's expression shifted, shadows darkening his features. Charon, are you afraid he'll do something to you? He asked softly, stepping forward. You don't have to worry. As long as I'm here, no one will dare lay a hand on you. Ling Hu Hang tensed, watching them warily. Why are you getting so close? Are you going to hit me? I didn't even do anything. Zhang Buxuan closed the distance, his tone cold and final. Let me make something clear. Don't ever touch Charon again. Not even by accident. Ling Hu Hang raised his hands defensively. Buxuan, maybe you're misunderstanding. Before things could escalate, Zichuan stepped between them, her presence commanding. Zhang Buxuan, move. I need to talk to him, Zichuan said firmly. I know you don't really want to, Zhang Buxuan countered, stepping in front of her. You're just forcing yourself. Let me deal with it. Zichuan's eyes narrowed. Stop assuming things. I'm not going anywhere with you. Zhang Buxuan reached for her hand, his expression softening into something almost pleading. Charon, you're only saying that because you're scared of what Ling Hu Hang might do. You're too kind to admit it. Zichuan froze, blinking at him in disbelief. He actually believes that. His ego could survive a hurricane. He took her silence as confirmation and smiled, calm and self-assured. See? You're afraid. But don't worry. I'll protect you. Someone as kind and gentle as her doesn't belong in the clutches of the Ling Hu family, Zhang Buxuan said coldly, his eyes locking onto Ling Hu Hang. You don't deserve to live. Ling Hu Hang stiffened. Wait, what? That's not in the script. A wave of dread washed over him. He's serious. He actually wants to kill me. He threw a sharp glare at Zichuan. You're going to get me killed with this performance. Zichuan flinched, catching the accusation in his gaze. Are you out of your mind? She snapped. You think I'm acting? Xiuzi suddenly stepped forward, eyes blazing at Zhang Buxuan. You arrogant toad. You think you're worthy of my daughter? He barked. My son-in-law will be Ling Hu Hang. Ling Hu Hang winced. Like father, like daughter. Both delusional. Can someone give me a break already? Coz suddenly clutched his neck in pain. Zhang Buxuan raised a hand, pointing directly at him. You're forcing Charon to marry a worthless coward. And you call that love? What kind of father are you? Zhang Buxuan snapped, turning his scorn toward Coz. Then, softening ever so slightly, he looked at Charon. Don't worry, Charon. I won't marry anyone but you. No, she said firmly. I don't want to marry you. Her voice shook with frustration. Why won't he listen? Why can't he just leave me alone? Zhang Buxuan smiled, unbothered, as if she hadn't spoken at all. I know you're scared. It's fine. Stay here for now. I'll come back for you soon. What? You're leaving? Ling Hu Hang called out, his voice tinged with disbelief. You can't just leave your wife behind. This is completely off script. He's not supposed to leave yet. Zhang Buxuan turned, sneering at him. I'll be back. And when I return, his eyes glinted with cold promise. I'll take your life. He cast his gaze over the crowd, voice rising with contempt. And the rest of you, you pathetic, simpering worms, you'll be groveling at my feet. Ling Hu Hang clenched his jaw, panic creeping in. Don't leave. Please don't leave. Take her with you. Just take her and go. I always keep my promises, Zhang Buxuan said coolly, as he stepped away. Ling Hu Hang looked at Shi Chuan, desperation mounting. You don't need to come back for me, he whispered. Just take her and go. Leave me out of this. Shi Chuan had had enough. Their ridiculous posturing, the declarations, the threats, it was all too much. And Ling Hu Hang's internal screaming wasn't helping. Her patience snapped. Will you all just shut up, she yelled. The entire room fell into stunned silence. Without waiting another second, she stormed up to Ling Hu Hang and grabbed him by the collar. Before he could even process what was happening, she kissed him. Ling Hu Hang froze like a deer in headlights. His brain short-circuited. His face turned red enough to outshine the wedding decorations. She pulled back, turned to Zhang Buxuan, and said coldly, "Is that enough proof for you? I like Ling Hu Hang. I'm going to marry him. So you can go now." Zhang Buxuan blinked. Once. Twice. His mouth opened. Nothing came out. Then finally, "No, you're making a mistake," he stammered. "I can still save you." He spun on Ling Hu Hang, eyes blazing. "I'll destroy your entire family." Ling Hu Hang felt a cold sweat form. Why is he so dramatic? I'm the cannon fodder here. Just then, a cheerful chime rang in his head. Congratulations, host. Stage 1, complete. Target, Shi Chuan has shifted her affection. She will now assist you in surviving for the next 5 chapters. Reward, Lakeside Villa, 600 square meters. Stage 2, initiated. Good luck. Ling Hu Hang slumped to the floor, face in his hands. I have a 9-figure bank balance. What the hell am I supposed to do with a villa right now? He groaned. I just wanted a quiet life. Kicked back in his ridiculously oversized mansion, Ling Hu Hang lounged on his cloud-soft bed, scrolling lazily through his phone while humming a carefree tune. Finally, he sighed, a few days of peace after that disaster of a birthday banquet. He took a sip of red wine, imported, of course, because suffering through a transmigrated life apparently came with luxury perks. System, he called, don't tell me you're here to ruin this. Indeed, host, the system chirped way too cheerfully. I'm here to inform you that the second stage of your mission is now beginning. Ling Hu Hang groaned and rubbed his temples. Let me guess, it's got more drama, more people who want to kill me, and fewer brain cells all around? In the original plot, the system began like it was reading a grocery list. Yuandex and Shi Chuan are forced to attend a banquet hosted by Tan Zhuo, CEO of Diheo Corporation. He's Shi Chuan's granduncle, over 70, half dead, but still kicking just enough to meddle. Ling Hu Hang sighed deeply and stared up at the ceiling. Can't these rich old men stay in retirement and let me rot in peace? He took another sip. Alright, system, hit me with the rest of it. What kind of nonsense am I walking into this time? Dozens of guests were planning to bring miracle-working doctors and rare elixirs, anything to impress the dying Tan Zhuo and win a sliver of his favor. And of course, you'd be no different. You'd bring your own, renowned physician, only for him to be outed as a fraud, publicly, by none other than Zhang Buxuan. He'd waltz in like some divine healer, whip out his freshly mastered 9 heavenly profound medical canon, and perform a miraculous cure on the spot. One moment, Tan Zhuo's coughing up blood, the next he's breakdancing. The crowd cheers. Buxuan becomes the golden boy. You become the punchline. And eventually, a corpse. Ling Hu Hang clenched his jaw. Let me guess. The banquet's today. Correct, the system chimed far too happily. Zhang Buxuan has undoubtedly already mastered the 9 heavenly profound medical canon. And yes, you're headed straight into another legendary public humiliation. Ling Hu Hang closed his eyes. Of course I am. No, host, the system shrieked. You must retaliate. You're the villain. This is your role. You must survive. Just then, the door burst open. Young Master Hang, a voice barked. Ling Hu Heng didn't even need to look. "Ho Kong," he groaned. The man stood stiffly in the doorway, face expressionless as ever. "Yes. Ho Kong," the system whispered ominously. "Also known as, the Harbinger of Doom." Ling Hu Heng sat up with the weight of 1,000 regrets. "Great. My personal Grim Reaper has arrived. Let's go get publicly executed. Again. His presence increases your risk of dying by at least 50%. Ling Hu Heng stared at Ho Kong like he was a walking omen in designer knockoffs. "Nope. Not doing this. He's gotta go." With the smooth confidence of a man who definitely watched too many office dramas, he slapped Ho Kong on the shoulder. "Ho Kong, you're overqualified for this bodyguard stuff. It's a waste of your talents." Ho Kong blinked. "What? I'm promoting you," Ling Hu Heng declared. "Effective immediately, you're our new lead stockbroker." "Stockbroker?" Ho Kong looked stunned. "I don't know anything about stocks. Which is why I'm sending you somewhere to learn." "Wall Street?" He paused. "No, too close. Seoul." "Yes, Seoul has numbers." Without missing a beat, he herded the confused man toward the car, shoved a boarding pass and several bulging suitcases into his arms, and waved from the airport curb like a proud parent sending a kid to summer camp. "Am I really that good?" Ho Kong called out from the gate. "You're the best." Ling Hu Heng shouted back, already sweating through his shirt. "Safer already." As the plane lifted off, Ling Hu Heng sighed in deep relief. There. The Harbinger of Doom is now the Harbinger of Dividends. Then he glanced at his watch. Oh crap. The banquet. Cut to, outside the Grand Tan residence. Ling Hu Heng adjusted his tie with the shaky hands of a man headed to war. His phone buzzed. "Hello?" he answered. "Charon?" he asked, trying to sound cool. "I'm here," she said on the other end. "She'll be here soon," he muttered, trying to psych himself up. Right. Time to charm, dodge, and survive. He took a deep breath and reviewed his mental script. Step 1, don't die. Step 2, well, survive Step 1 first. We're engaged now. I guess I should call her Charon, Ling Hu Heng muttered, adjusting his collar like a man trying to act cool while internally combusting. Just then, a sleek black car pulled up. Out stepped a woman like a firework in heels, bright orange hair, a slinky black dress, and enough attitude to power a whole season of reality TV. She strutted toward him with a smirk and yanked on his tie. Well, if it isn't my least favorite ex-boyfriend. Ling Hu Heng's soul almost left his body. Makaiwai, he choked. Oh no. Not her. But it was. Maokiu Iawewi, walking, talking karma in stilettos. And just like that, the buried memories hit him like a truck, late-night study sessions, sneaking snacks into the library, kisses under cheap dorm fairy lights. And then the fallout. I told you I didn't do it, he'd said back then, voice breaking. She hadn't believed him. And now here she was, years later, looking like the opening credits of a scandal. You don't even recognize me anymore, she said coolly. Too busy pretending to be someone important, rubbing shoulders with rich girls in designer shoes? No, it's not like that. Ling Hu Heng stammered. Oh my god, she looks amazing. Why is she more gorgeous now? Why did I ever let her go? Why is she here? Why am I sweating? Inside Makaiwai's mind, a dramatic voice boomed, Ling Hu Heng, you idiot. You never deserved her. Who said that? She snapped, glancing around like someone just whispered juicy gossip. Ling Hu Heng was already power walking away like his life depended on it. She narrowed her eyes. Is he muttering to himself? She looked around again. There's no one else here but me and him. She turned back toward him. Too late. The man had vanished. Again. Typical Ling Hu Heng. Ling Yuheng approached the car, all cool confidence and casual swagger. Excuse me, he asked, one brow raised, How much did this car cost? I want one. Then, bam, a voice, rich and masculine, echoed in Makai Wei's mind like it had leaned in for a private whisper. Female lead. Her spine straightened instinctively. What is she doing here? She thought, brows drawing together. But then, realization struck like a designer heel to the face. Wait a minute, something's not right. He's so far away, but that voice, it was right next to my ear. Ling Yuheng glanced at her from the corner of his eye and sighed, his tone full of casual cruelty. What a waste of a beautiful body. Another mental quip followed, smooth and sarcastic. Just another addition to the male lead's harem, the voice added with a knowing groan. Is there no other profession in this book besides homewrecker? Stealing someone's girlfriend, stealing someone's ex-girlfriend. This male lead is seriously messed up. He looks so innocent. But he's a woman-stealing fiend. Hearing this, Makai Wei's temper flared. She turned sharply, eyes blazing. What did you say? Ling Huiheng flinched. Nothing, he mumbled, playing it off like a guilty schoolboy. She scoffed, arms crossed and voice sharp as stilettos. You dare to say it but not admit it. Ling Huiheng, you are really useful. But it's also true, you've been licking Shi Charon's boots for so long, and now that you've finally got her, how dare you make her angry? Ling Huiheng blinked, utterly baffled. What is she talking about? His brain short-circuited. He clenched his fists, frustration rising like champagne bubbles. And thought to himself. I lick a hammer. I beg to break off the engagement. Okay. What's the use? I don't like Shi Charon's brain personality. You're so much better than her, a voice echoed in her mind like a secret confession whispered under silk sheets. Makai Wei blinked. Wait a second. That voice wasn't spoken out loud. Is that his inner voice? He thinks I'm better than Zichuran? Her lips curled, somewhere between a smirk and a smile. Interesting. Why do you look so unhappy when I mention Zichuran? She asked, her voice dipping into something softer, silk with a hint of smoke. Ling Huiheng sighed like a man reliving trauma. It's a long story. Let's just say marriage is a tomb. Oh, she teased, tilting her head. So you're still chasing after her? No, he snapped, suddenly defensive. I'm forced to do this, okay? Zichuran, that crazy woman, she's maxed out Zhang Buxuan's hatred for me. I'll be lucky to escape with my life. This stupid book makes no sense, Makai Wei giggled, the sound bubbling up like champagne. He stared at her, brow twitching. What's so funny? Has she lost her mind? Or is this some kind of sexy lunatic arc? Ling Huiheng, she said softly, eyes locking onto his like they had history, and maybe unfinished business. I figured out the truth about that misunderstanding a long time ago. It wasn't your fault. It's just too bad, you're getting married. Great, Ling Huiheng thought, heart suddenly slamming the gas pedal. She figured it out? She forgave me? Thank God, she's a million times better than Jichuan. This is a miracle. Divine intervention. Feng Shui finally in my favor. Just then, fate decided to crash the party. Jichuan's car screeched to a stop, and like a storm wrapped in designer heels, she stepped out. Her eyes landed on them like laser sights. What are you guys doing? She snapped, voice cutting like a slap. Jichuan stormed forward, murder in her stilettos, about to yell. Ling Huiheng, you. But then she stopped, a calculating glint in her eyes, as if her brain had just switched from rage mode to rom-com villainous with a plan. She forced a sweet smile. Ling Huiheng, I've been looking everywhere for you. Ling Huiheng stared at her, completely bewildered. What's wrong with her? Did she hit her head? Or worse, read a relationship advice blog? Oblivious to his confusion, she continued her saccharine charade. Hubby, she cooed, purring the word like it was a trap wrapped in silk. She stroked his face, then planted a kiss right on his cheek. He recoiled like she'd just handed him a ticking bomb. This crazy woman. What's with the sudden personality change? Is this method acting? A prank show? Ma Kaiwai, watching the scene unfold like a drama with low ratings and high tension, crossed her arms. That's all you've got? She thought smugly. Then, without missing a beat, she turned and tossed her hair. I'll see you at the banquet later. She walked off like the main character she was, heels clicking, hips swaying, not forgetting to wave goodbye over her shoulder. Don't worry, my number hasn't changed. After Ma Kaiwai left, Zichuran's sweet act cracked. She was very upset. Pinching his side just hard enough to sting, she purred, "You're an engaged man now. Don't go flirting with other women." Ling Yuheng couldn't take it anymore. This woman's got more layers than an onion in a soap opera. Zichuran, do you have to be so fake? There's no one else here. Ling Yuheng's voice dropped, low and exasperated. Don't you understand? I don't want to marry you. She looked up at him with the kind of calm only a truly dangerous woman could wear like perfume. Are you having second thoughts? It's a little late for that. She grabbed his hand, her touch cool but her voice a heated whisper. You announced our engagement in front of everyone. Ling Yuheng quickly pushed her hand away like she was a live wire. Why are you doing this? Go find your true love. Wouldn't that be better? Zichuran's eyes narrowed with amused defiance. What do you care about me? I'll choose whoever I want. Meanwhile, from somewhere nearby, a dramatic voice floated in like a bad audiobook. Zichuran is so pitiful. Ling Yuheng already has her, yet he's still flirting with other women. I have to save her, I can't abandon her. The voice went full villain monologue. I'll expose him for the scoundrel he is. I will trample Ling Yuheng into the mud, and make him never stand up again, let Churan see his true face. Cut to the banquet hall, where the drama level cranked to 11. Zichuran, please stop clinging to me. It's not appropriate, Ling Yuheng muttered, trying to peel her fingers off his arm like they were glued there. We're engaged, what's inappropriate about it? She shot back, tightening her grip like a woman who knew exactly what she wanted. Ling Yuheng scanned the room with the wide eyes of a man trying to find the nearest emergency exit. He lowered his voice, panic rising. I know you're still upset, but maybe we can discuss calling off the engagement later. Ling Yuheng's voice was low, trying to sound reasonable, though inside, he was screaming. I can't take this anymore. Zhang Buxuan is bound to show up and see us together. I need to keep my distance before this turns into a blood feud. Zichuran's glare could have burned through steel. He faked a phone vibration and mumbled, someone's calling me, before executing a smooth, shameless escape. Zichuran stood there, arms crossed, lips pursed. Why does he hate me so much? She wondered, frustration bubbling beneath her flawless exterior. Just then, a booming voice shattered the tension. Oh, isn't this my future son-in-law? It was Xie, striding in like he owned the air. Ling Yuheng nearly tripped over his own thoughts but quickly composed himself, standing up straighter with a tight smile. Uncle Shi. Xie chuckled, clapping him on the shoulder. I was just looking for you. He motioned toward the elegant man beside him. I have a little something for you. This is Master Physician Shang Guan. Greetings, the physician said with a bow, his voice smooth like aged wine. Xiao Ji gave Ling Yuheng a discreet nudge, that classic wingman move. You'll present him to Elder Tan, he murmured, lips barely moving. Even if he can't cure him, it's the gesture that counts. He leaned in closer, voice dipping into a conspiratorial whisper. If he does succeed, the Tan family will owe you big time. And then boom, Tan, Ji, and Ling Hu families, he raised a brow. The most powerful alliance in the country. What do you think? Ling Yuheng blinked, still mentally spinning. Wait, what? Shang Guan? Master Physician? This whole setup was starting to smell like a high-stakes power play in disguise, and somehow he'd wandered into it in his best suit, clueless. In the original plot, Ling Yuheng thought frantically, Ho Kong was supposed to bring me a physician named Shengwan. I present him to Elder Tan, Zhang Bok soon shows up, accuses him of being a quack, and humiliates me. I sent Ho Kong away to prevent this, but Shangguan is here. This plot is completely unhinged. Even if the details change, the key events remain. Why is transmigration always such a hot mess? He stood there, frozen, his brain buffering. Ling Hu Hang. Coz barked. What are you waiting for? Bring Master Physician Shangguan in. Uncle Z, Ling Hu Hang stammered, I have a terrible stomachache. I need to use the restroom. Please, look after the physician for me. And with that, he bolted like a cat avoiding bath time, clutching his stomach dramatically. He rushed onto the balcony. Hey! Ciz yelled after him. This is insane. Absolutely insane. Ling Hu Hang sighed, leaning against the railing like a tragic lead in a soap opera. Why is my life like this? What's wrong? A woman's voice purred from behind him. Worried about Shi Churan, I saw everything. She stepped closer. Yuan Shi, another one of Zhang Buxuan's future conquests, he thought, instinctively grabbing her wrist. Let go, she exclaimed, pulling away. I can't touch the female characters. They're all destined for the male lead's harem. What's going on? Even engaged women are off limits? His heart pounded. This is a test of my willpower. He looked down at her, those curves. I want to. He really wants me, she thought. I should test him a little more. She leaned in, her breath grazing his ear, voice a sultry murmur. Young Master Ling Hu, tell me honestly, who do you like more, Shi Chuan or me? He looked away, face flaming. She's my fiancée. You're just a passerby. No, this isn't right, she thought, grabbing his collar and pulling him down. You didn't answer my question. Even passersby can be friends. What kind of friend do you want to be? She whispered, then nibbled his ear with wicked intent. He pushed her away, flustered. Makai Wei, please, control yourself. Damn, she's good. No man could resist that. Damn it, I'm not a man, he groaned inwardly. His words say no, but his body says yes, Ma Ka Wei thought, smirking. His inner voice is hilarious. I like him. Suddenly, Ling Hu Hang spotted Zhang Buxuan strolling by. Panic mode activated. He immediately pushed her away. Let me make this clear. As long as I'm engaged, we're nothing. He cried silently in his heart, such a soft body. How can we resist? Zhang Buxuan, if I don't control myself. Is this the fate of a side character? All look, no touch, huh? The protagonist is coming. I need to survive. Makai Wei saw that and immediately burst out laughing. Ling Yuheng, you're so cute. He exclaimed, exasperated, I'm serious. Why are you laughing? You were looking down on me. Ling Yuheng could only cry for his tragic fate. Damn it, just as I thought. These female leads don't see any man besides the protagonist as human. What's so funny? Ling Yuheng snapped, irritated. Am I a joke to you? No, no, she replied, giggling, her eyes twinkling. It's just, the thought is so amusing. This plot is getting strange, he thought, running a hand through his hair. I need to fix it. Whatever, he muttered. I'm leaving. Tonight, I must stay far, far away from these dangerously attractive male and female protagonists. Yes, and also stay away from that miracle doctor, Shangguan. Wait for the miracle doctor to show up, then I'll pretend to have diarrhea and make a run for it. Better to lose face than my life. Young Master Ling Hu. Mao Kai Wai cried. I've twisted my ankle. He paused, lips twitching. You're the female lead. You can survive a dragon attack in stilettos, a little fall won't kill you. He glanced around and saw John Baxwan watching them. Damn it. Young Master Ling Hu, I can't get up. Help me, she said sweetly. If he's not into Shi Chuan anymore, this is my chance to win him back, she thought. Ling Hu Hang feigned concern, giving a tight-lipped smile. You're wearing heels. What did you expect? I can't risk getting close, he reasoned, but I also can't be rude. What kind of supporting role do they think I am? If she complains to Zhang Buxuan, I'm dead, Ling Huheng thought, sweating bullets. Mao Kaiwei, clearly reading his mind like a sexy psychic, announced dramatically, Ling Huheng, if you don't help me, I'll be furious. There will be consequences. His expression shifted like a man cornered by both fate and a woman in heels. He rushed over, sighing, and started to help her, grudgingly. All right, I'm coming. Careful, don't lean on me. You're supposed to be with Zhang Buxuan. She snorted, full diva mode. Just help me up. What the hell? I'm the Mao Corporation heiress. Why would I be with Zhang Buxuan? He raised a brow, catching her hesitation like a red flag in high heels. Can you walk or not? Should I call a doctor? Snapping out of whatever fantasy she was having, she huffed, I can't. What now, carry me? She flicked him a look, sultry and knowing. Ling Huheng. You've already touched my waist anyway. Oh God, no. That's a foul, he panicked silently, like a monk in a lingerie shop. Still, duty, and survival, called. Ling Huheng reluctantly moved to help her, careful not to touch any more than legally required. Across the way, Zhang Buxuan saw the scene, and his jaw clenched so hard you could have sharpened swords on it. He went forward and patted Ling Huheng's shoulder. Ling Huheng, you scumbag. Startled, Ling Huheng turned his head, blinking like a deer caught cheating. Who are you? Then, with the flair of a C-drama male lead and the ego of a man who owns 3 mirrors, Zhang Buxuan took Ma Kaiwei's hand and said, Don't worry, I'll protect you. Get away from her, he roared, like a knight in emotionally unstable armor. Ma Kaiwei didn't understand what was happening, but she was kind of into the drama. She turned to look at Zhang Buxun, completely confused. What do you think you're doing? Zhang Buxun wasn't having it. He pointed at Ling Huheng like a moral compass stuck on high alert. You're engaged to Chern, and now you're flirting with other women. You're despicable. Ling Huheng, exasperated, looked skyward, as if begging the heavens for patience. Who have I flirted with? He thought. You shameless good-for-nothing. Know your place, Zhang Buxun snarled, chest puffed like he just walked out of a villain cosplay competition. Stop fighting, someone yelled from the sidelines, clearly regretting their front row seat to this hot mess. I'm not fighting, Zhang Buxuan retorted coolly, like a man rehearsed in courtroom drama. I'm simply stating facts. Oh great, Ling Huheng groaned internally. Now we're citing facts. Next comes the emotional PowerPoint. Churan deserves to see his true character, Zhang Buxuan continued with a dramatic pause. I have to expose him. The sooner, the better, a mysterious voice echoed from the back, probably sipping tea and loving the chaos. What's going on here? A new voice demanded, low and commanding. Who are you? What's your relationship with my sister? Enter, Ma Xiaojun, the Ma Corporation's eldest son, tall, cold, and 100% ready to throw hands or lawsuits. Ling Huheng froze. Oh no. This is bad. Real bad. He and Zhang Buxuan locked eyes, mutual dread passing between them like a silent bro-code panic signal. Ma Kaiwei and Mao Xiaojun are the children of the eldest and second sons of the director of the Mao Group respectively. In the plot, the two assist their father in fighting for the Mao family's property and confront each other tit for tat. However, Zhang Buxun and Mao Xiaojun had already known each other and had a secret deal long before they started fighting for the family property. Zhang Buxuan asked Mao Xiaojun to persuade his father to invest in a bubble project called the Mars Photovoltaic Project and invest hundreds of millions of yuan. Mars? Honey, the only thing taking off is your money, Ling Huheng thought dryly. However, behind Mao Xiaojun's back, Zhang Buxuan actually had other plans. This project will definitely fail. When the investment collapsed, he'll gain Mao Kaiwei's favor and add her to his harem. So that's it, Ling Huheng thought, eyes narrowing. Those conniving bastards. A fake project and a real harem? Are we in a business drama or a dating sim? Mao Kaiwei, of course, also heard Ling Huhang's thoughts. Her face paled. Ma Xiaojun looked at his sister. Surprised? Kaiwei, what's wrong? Xiaojun, conspiring with an outsider against me? She thought, stunned. Father did mention the Mars photovoltaic project. He invested. I'm just shocked. I need to sit down. I'm fine, just a little dizzy, she thought as she walked. However, Ling Huhang has always hated business investment and never cared about it. How could he know? Could it be? Her breath caught. Ling Huhang has been secretly caring about me? She sat down, flustered, her heartbeat matching her high heels click-clack tempo. But still, she couldn't shake the thought. It turns out that Ling Huhang has always been obsessed with me. After a while of thinking, she blushed. If this isn't true love, then what is true love? John Bushwan suddenly shouted, "Get away from her. You don't deserve her. I saw you bullying her." "No, wait." Ma Kaiwei exclaimed, practically flailing. "He wasn't bullying me, I fell, okay? And he helped me up. Very polite. Total gentleman. So chill." John Bushwan turned to her, furious. "You're defending him? You can't see what he really is." She rolled her eyes, flicking her hair like she was in a shampoo commercial. "You're just a bodyguard. You don't get to interfere in my life choices." Ling Huhang was already sweating bullets. Damn it, why am I involved again? He thought in despair. He's totally gonna pin this on me. Why is my luck the equivalent of a soap opera side characters? She stood up, elegantly dramatic. "My ankle hurts," she announced like she was auditioning for a drama queen role. "Help me go rest." He turned away coldly. "Find someone else." She didn't miss a beat. "If you refuse, I'll scream that you harassed me," she said sweetly, with all the menace of a mafia princess in stilettos. He sighed, clearly defeated by the sheer force of feminine cunning. "You're incredibly manipulative," he muttered. Ignoring that entirely, she purred under her breath, "As for you, brother, when I uncover the truth, we are going to have a very long, very intense talk." Ma Xiaojun, who had been trying to follow the plot, stood there like someone had just handed him a Rubik's Cube made of emotions. He blinked. He processed nothing. In the reception room, Ling Huhang flashed his most charming fake smile. "Miss Mao, please, have a seat." Internally, "The moment Her Royal Highness hits that chair, I'm out of here faster than a rogue cultivator dodging child support." But Mao Kaiwei wasn't born yesterday. "Oh no you don't, Slick. You're not escaping that easily." "Ouch, my ankle," she cried, dramatically clutching it like she'd just lost a toe in battle. "It hurts, massage it for me, please." She rubbed her ankle and gave him the look, doe eyes, pouty lips, like a helpless kitten in couture. Ling Huhang's eyes flicked to her legs, then to her dangerously short outfit, and suddenly he was sweating harder than a con man at a tax audit. "Nope. Nope nope nope. I can't touch her dressed like that. If John Bushwan walks in, I'm toast. And not the buttery kind." "Miss Mao, I really can't," he said, voice cracking just slightly. "What's wrong with it?" she purred, legs crossing slowly like a Bond girl in a boardroom. "I want you to." He blinked. "If I don't, you'll what?" "I'll scream," she said sweetly, "and tell everyone you were inappropriate." Ling Huhang sighed, dragging a hand down his face. "Not this trick again. Isn't there a fake amnesia plot twist we could try instead?" "Do it," she said, and began counting. 3, 2. "Fine, fine. I'll massage it." "Happy now?" he grumbled, already kneeling like this was a sacrifice to the gods of chaos. As he began rubbing her ankle, she let out a soft moan. He froze. Oh no. Was that too much pressure? He looked up, concerned, and was met with a sultry smirk. "A little more," she purred, a look of utter satisfaction painting her face as she stretched luxuriously. "Higher, a little to the left." "Yes, right there." She pointed with her fingers and toes, her expression blissful, practically glowing from the attention. Ling Hu-hung followed her directions, a bead of sweat trailing down his neck. Is this good? Hard enough? Oh yes, young Master Ling Hu, she murmured, voice dropping to a sultry whisper. You're the best at this. And just like that, it hit him. Wait a minute, this feels wrong. Why am I feeling like I'm in a romance novel, and why is she acting like she's the queen of this whole thing? As night fell, the scene started to shift in his mind, and things were rapidly escalating. Meanwhile, on the other side of the room, Zhong Buxuan's desperation was practically oozing out of his voice. Brother Mao, Miss Mao is completely smitten with Ling Yuheng. What do we do about that? Mao Xiaojun blinked, clearly surprised by the sudden turn of events. You like my sister? He asked with a grin. That's easy, Kai Wei likes strong, capable men. Show her you've got both, and she'll be yours. He paused for a second, pondering his words before adding, but... Brother Mao, I think Miss Mao and Ling Hu-heng already know each other. Is there something between them? They dated briefly, Mao Xiaojun replied casually, as if it was no big deal. But that's all in the past. He's engaged now. They're just catching up. Don't worry about it. I'm heading to the restroom. We'll talk later. Ma Xiaojun's words floated away as he turned to leave. As soon as he was gone, Zhang Bixuan's mind went into overdrive. Ling Yuheng, one day, all your women will be mine. A mischievous grin spread across his face as he plotted his next move. Meanwhile, on the other side, Xia Yuji made a smooth gesture toward the physician standing by. This is the renowned doctor your future son-in-law found. Could you introduce him to your uncle later? Elder Tan nodded with approval, clearly impressed. Of course, we're practically family. Zhang Buxuan overheard and couldn't suppress a smirk. Ah, this is it. My chance to crush the Z, Mao, and Tan families, all in one move. Help! Elder Tan has collapsed. A dramatic cry burst from the room, sending the whole place into a flurry. Inside, a young woman was practically vibrating with panic, hands clasped together like she was praying for a miracle. Elder Tan, please wake up, she pleaded, her voice trembling. Bring the medicine, quickly. But Xiazi? Cool as a cucumber. His condition is deteriorating, he said with calm authority. Ling Hu-heng, fetch Master Physician Shengwan. Now. Master Physician, do you know what to do? Shengwan adjusted his glasses with the drama of a man unveiling a magic trick, a glint of smug confidence in his eyes. I'm 10 out of 10 certain. I'll diagnose his pulse shortly. Zhang Buxuan stood smug in the shadows, practically rubbing his hands together. That quack Ling Yuheng is toast, he thought, eyes gleaming with petty satisfaction. But then, plot twist. Suddenly, Elder Tan stirred. He's awake. Elder Tan is awake, someone cried. Gasps filled the room like an over-the-top soap opera. We've consulted so many physicians, but nothing has worked. The medicine barely helps, and it's losing its effect, someone lamented, exasperated. Friends, if you have any solutions, please help the Tan family. We'll be forever in your debt. Ma Xiaojun leaned in toward Zhang Buxuan, whispering like they were gossiping at a royal tea party. That's the head of the Tan family. You said you had exceptional medical skills. How confident are you? Zhang Buxuan blinked, caught off guard. This idiot, he thought. You really believe that? His eagerness to flatter the Tan family is written all over his face. The poor guy was practically wagging his tail. The Tan family controls the Mal Corporation, Zhang Buxuan thought, calculating. And I need their support. Fine, I'll let you bask in the glory of my genius. Aloud, he said, graciously, like a king granting an audience. I can't be certain without a proper diagnosis, but just based on observation, I'm at least 50% confident. The man really knew how to humble brag. Mao Xiaojuan's face lit up like he just won a luxury raffle. Excellent. I knew I chose the right person. If you cure him, remember my contribution. I'll share the rewards, he said, patting Zhang Buxuan's shoulder like they were besties in a buddy comedy. Zhang Buxuan gave him a sideways glance, a mix of revulsion and strategic tolerance. What a fool, he thought. But a useful one. He's my ticket out of this ridiculous bodyguard cosplay and into the big leagues. What are we waiting for? Mao Xiaojun said, dragging Zhang Buxuan forward with all the excitement of a kid at a candy store. Let's examine him. Wait, Zhang Buxuan suddenly called out, loud enough to stop a dramatic drumroll. What's the rush, he said coolly, adjusting his cuffs like a diva prepping for her entrance. We need to build anticipation. Let that Shengguan fellow try first. If we go first, we won't appear as impressive. Let him go first. Because nothing says sexy medical showdown like a little flair for the dramatic. Ma Xiaojun was still not at ease, nervously shifting like someone who just watched their stock portfolio crash. He turned to look and said, but the Z family brought master physician Shengguan. He's quite famous, what if he cures him? Don't worry, Zhang Buxuan replied smoothly, like a man who owned both the room and a yacht somewhere. He won't. Think about it, if even a renowned physician like him can't cure Elder Tan, and we do, won't we be even more highly regarded? Ma Xiaojun stroked his chin, giving serious, strategic mastermind energy. That makes sense. You're quite insightful. Translation, I didn't think of that but now I'm on board. Alright, I'll help you out, he declared heroically, before dashing off like a man on a romantic mission. He rushed over and grabbed Master Physician Shengguan's arm like they were old buddies at a reunion. Brother Tan, we have a renowned physician here, courtesy of the Z family. Why not let him examine Elder Tan? Really, the head of the Tan family said, eyes lighting up like it was his birthday. COZ, Master Physician Shengguan, we're in your debt. Master Physician Shengguan looked flustered, clearly not used to being manhandled like a hot celebrity on tour. Well, then allow me to examine him. COZ coughed loudly, making sure all eyes snapped to him like he was about to drop a mixtape. I already have a plan. Why are you interfering? Are you all sick? Ling Yuheng thought anxiously, this is spiraling, why is every event in my life a chaotic drama with bonus commentary? COZ took Elder Tan's hand with the flair of a magician about to reveal a disappearing trick. Don't worry, sir. This is the 18th generation descendant of the royal physician. He's saved countless lives. He's practically HUA to reborn. Yes, that legendary healer with a side of mythical hotness. He'll cure you for sure. Don't exaggerate, Ling Hung thought, panic creeping in like a caffeine crash during a job interview. If he fails, they'll point at me like I'm the fake doctor from a soap opera. Master Physician Shengguan moved in, calm and poised like he was posing for the cover of Elite Healers Monthly. He took Elder Tan's pulse with the grace of someone who definitely gets paid in gold bars and praise. This illness, it's not incurable. Really? The head of the Tan family lit up like someone just told him his favorite stocks tripled overnight. Master Physician Shengguan frowned, the kind of serious, mysterious frown that made him look both wise and slightly too attractive. This illness is caused by stagnant qi, blocked meridians, and heart fire descending. Yes, the kind of diagnosis that sounds like the plot of an ancient romance novel. Causing toxins to accumulate in the heart and liver. Dangerous. But, the Royal 9 Heavenly Silkworm acupuncture technique should work. Zhang Buxuan scoffed so hard, it practically echoed. 9 Heavenly Silkworm acupuncture, he said, like someone rejecting knockoff designer bags. That's nothing compared to my 1,000-flower divine needle technique. Which definitely sounds like a forbidden love technique disguised as medicine. One needle, just one, and that quack will be toast. The Z and Linghu families? Ruined. Ashes. Gone. He grinned like a man with a secret weapon and too much time in front of the mirror. Before we begin, he said with the calm confidence of a man who's either a genius or about to ruin everyone's night. Young Master Linghu, could you come here a moment? Me? Linghu Heng asked, pointing at himself like he'd just been called out in class while daydreaming. Was there another Linghu in the room he didn't know about? Yes, you. The physician extended 3 acupuncture needles with the flair of a magician about to pull off his signature trick. I require your assistance. Ling Hu Heng took a cautious step forward, like someone approaching a bomb with a butter knife. I don't know anything about medicine. I can't help you. Is this guy crazy? His thoughts raced. You need a butcher to slaughter a pig, not some random guy with good cheekbones and unresolved trauma. What's he trying to do, get me killed? If I die tonight, it's on him. Master Physician Shengwan adjusted his glasses with the kind of smirk that could seduce a nun. Young Master Ling Hu, you're too humble. Why hide your talents? He leaned in just enough to make it weirdly intimate. I've heard you possess extraordinary medical skills. Remember when my shoulder ached? 2 punches from you, bam, bam, right on the acupuncture points. Cured my chronic pain like that. Ling Hu Heng stared at him like he'd just witnessed a squirrel driving a car. Are all villains in these novels this stupid, he thought. This is so transparent, you could serve it on ice with lemon. He glanced around nervously, wondering if anyone else could see the madness unfolding, or if they were just as delusional. Let's begin, the physician said, raising a needle like it was a wand in some sexy, high-stakes Harry Potter spin-off. Young Master Ling Hu, please sterilize and hand me the needles, the physician said, all calm authority, like a surgeon with a side hustle in seduction. Ling Hu Heng did as asked, hands trembling only slightly, because nothing says fun Saturday night like getting bossed around with sharp objects. With a graceful flick of the wrist, the physician inserted the first needle. For headaches with neck and shoulder pain, aversion to wind and cold, prolonged needling is most effective, he said, like a man narrating a TED Talk while flirting through his eyelashes. The Taiyang point, to dispel wind and cold. Regulate Chedbaihui, Shenting, Tanjun, Zhongyuan, Yongquan. His voice practically purred through the names, turning ancient medicine into sultry poetry. To invigorate blood and clear the meridians. From across the room, John Bouchuan leaned against the wall like he was in a perfume ad, smirking like he knew the ending of this drama. The order is correct, he said smoothly. But your technique is lacking, you ignorant fool. How dare you speak such nonsense in my presence? Master Physician Shengwan snapped, puffing up like a peacock in a lab coat. John Bouchuan smirked again, a man radiating I know something you don't energy. A guilty conscience, perhaps? Why won't you look at me? He pointed a very well-manicured finger at himself. Who are you anyway? Someone scoffed. Young Master Tan, get this trash out of here. He's sullying Elder Tan's presence. The head of the Tan family, clearly done with this episode of Drama Hospital, waved his hand. The guards stepped forward. But John Bouchuan wasn't about to leave without a mic drop. Young Master Tan, are you sure about this? He said, low and intense, the room holding its breath. I'm the only one here who can cure Elder Tan. If you remove me. He paused for effect, just long enough for someone in the back to gasp. You remove his last hope. Arrogant fool. Master Physician Shengwan bellowed, thumping his chest like he was auditioning for a medical-themed telenovela. Do you think I'm incompetent? I am Elder Tan's only hope. Here it comes, Ling Hu Heng thought, heart pounding like he was about to walk a runway in just a lab coat. The rivalry has begun. Next stop, the wager. If you're so confident. Master Physician Shengwan said, eyes narrowing as he pointed dramatically at Zhang Bouchuan. Do you dare to wager with me? Zhang Bouchuan arched an eyebrow, pure unbothered sex appeal and swagger. I have nothing to fear, he replied, cool as cucumber slices in tonic water. The physician leaned in, his voice dropping to that low, velvet tone reserved for both threats and flirtation. You should know, he said. This acupuncture technique is meant to restore vitality. He paused for effect, every eye in the room hanging on his words. One final needle remains. He held it up like a magician revealing the last card. If this needle cures Elder Tan, he declared, lips curled in a smug smile. You will kneel and kowtow before me in front of everyone. His gaze slid to Ling Hu Heng with a sparkle of mischief. And you will also kowtow to young Master Ling Hu. What? Ling Hu Heng thought, eyes wide like someone just suggested a group project. Why am I involved in this mess? Fine, Zhang Buxuan said, smooth as silk sheets on a dangerous man's bed. But what if you fail? This isn't good, Ling Hu Heng thought, heart racing like a scandal was about to drop on live TV. Then you and Ling Hu Heng will kowtow to me, Zhang Buxuan finished, smirking like a devil in designer. I accept. Master Physician Shengguan snapped back, chest puffed out. I'm not afraid of you. Ling Hu Heng collapsed to the floor like a damsel with a trust fund, eyes glassy, dramatic, adorable. I'm so screwed, he whimpered internally. Shengguan's gonna blow it. His 9 heavenly silkworm acupuncture technique is missing a key move, bloodletting from the charred point. That's like trying to make love without foreplay, unforgivable. Only Zhang Buxuan knows that move. Of course he does. He's the protagonist, blessed by fate, plot armor, and a future full of hot lovers with tragic backstories. Kowtowing is nothing but a girl's hurdle, Ling Hu Heng's thoughts spiraled, nonsensical, panicked, and just a little sexy. Both men stood in stunned silence, confusion clinging to them like expensive cologne. Then came the determination. No way in hell could Zhang Buxuan win. Because if he did, that meant one thing. They'd have to join his harem. And honestly, that's not even the worst fate, but it's the most embarrassing. Master Physician Shengguan swaggered forward, all confidence and needlework, the final needle, he announced, pulling the acupuncture needles from Elder Tan like he was in a dramatic spa commercial. The physician took a good, long look at the frail figure on the bed. You can get up now, he said, gesturing like he was the star of a cooking show, ready for the reveal. Elder Tan's son helped him sit up, the crowd leaning in for the magic moment. The pressure in my chest is gone, and the headache? Much better. Elder Tan declared, his voice like the last sip of a well-aged wine. Master Physician, you're truly remarkable. Amazing, a true miracle worker. The onlookers gasped, some even wiping imaginary tears from their eyes. We've witnessed something incredible today. Ling Hu Heng, watching from the sidelines, narrowed his eyes. That's not right. He thought. Elder Tan was supposed to cough up blood, that's Zhang Buxuan's moment. Where is the drama? Right on cue, Elder Tan suddenly hacked a loud, dramatic cough, blood trickling from his lips like it was an audition for a soap opera. Father, his son shouted, panic rising like an overcooked soufflé. What's happening? Zhang Buxuan's voice oozed smugness as he strutted forward, totally feeling his villainous vibes. What did I tell you? He smirked, a mere charlatan. If you'd listened to me, Elder Tan would be healthy now. But no, you trusted the wrong person. And to those who sought to profit from this charlatan, your schemes have failed, Zhang Buxuan announced, practically twirling with dramatic flair. I've changed the terms of our wager, he continued, his voice dripping with smug satisfaction. No need for kowtowing, just lick my shoes clean, and we'll pretend this never happened. Wait. Zichuan and Makaiwai shouted in unison, their eyes locking in surprise. It was one of those moments where the air was thick with awkward tension. Still clinging to your ex, I see, Zichuan thought, sending a glare at Ling Hu Heng. We'll see about that. Zhang Buxuan, unfazed, sauntered over to Zichuan. Don't be angry, Churan, he cooed, trying to be the smooth, charming player. He's not worth it. Then, with a flourish, he turned and pointed at Ling Hu Heng like he was some kind of villain monologue in an action movie. The shuriken was just to make you feel better. Who are you to decide what makes him feel better? Makaiwai shot back, her voice sharp like a stiletto heel. I don't need your help. And neither does Zichuan. Zhang Buxuan flinched, taken aback. Apparently, not the reaction he expected. You don't understand Master Physician Shang Wan's methods, Zi Chuan said smoothly, stepping forward with a confident sway. But I do. He's the physician I trust the most. She flashed a look at Makaiwai, clearly ready to take center stage. I remember a similar case where he used the Doki point bloodletting technique. Makaiwai froze, her brow furrowing. How does she know that? Is she putting on a show? She thought, raising an eyebrow, deciding to play along. Yes, she said, flashing a knowing smile. I've seen Master Physician Shang Guan use the Dachu point bloodletting technique. It's his ultimate move. Ultimate move? Master Physician Shang Guan thought, scratching his head in confusion. I don't have an ultimate move called that. But then, he quickly recovered with a grin. Well, it does fit the situation perfectly. He approached Elder Tan with dramatic flair, his voice confident as ever. Everyone, remain calm. Coughing up blood isn't necessarily a bad sign. It's just stagnant blood being released. Once I finish the acupuncture, he'll be just fine. Zhang Buxuan's eyes narrowed, irritation flaring. Damn it! He thought, frowning. They figured it out. Elder Tan's son, clearly anxious, leaned forward. Master Physician, is something wrong? Not at all, the physician reassured him, resuming his treatment, unfazed. It's all part of the process. Elder Tan groaned, sweat trickling down his brow. Suddenly, his eyes shot open, and a wide grin spread across his face. This feeling. I haven't felt this alive since college. My senses are sharp. I feel incredible. He grabbed Master Physician Shang Guan's hand, his voice filled with gratitude. I'm completely cured. I'm eternally grateful. Master Physician Shang Guan, you truly are a miracle worker. And young Master Ling Hu, we thank you as well. Zhang Buxuan stood frozen, stunned. How? That was supposed to be my ultimate technique. His mind was reeling. Master Physician Shang Guan smirked, turning toward him with a sly grin. Well. Looks like someone's been exposed. He waved a hand dismissively. What was all that talk about kneeling? Seems like you're the one who lost the wager. Then, with a sly nudge to Ling Hu Hung, he added, and you, young man. Time to keep your word. Kneel before young Master Ling Hu.
Well, that's the end of the video, but don't worry, I'll be back. If you enjoyed the content, smash that like button like it owes you money, and hit subscribe so we can make this a regular thing. See you in the next one.